take a swig of water, and that's it. You can't.
I got the Harrah. There's a Japanese powder helps with the Harrah. And historically, I can't take these very well. So bad. I got it. All right, we are in the mountains of North Carolina. We just got here from Panama City Beach. I saved you the trouble of watching us drive because that would have been, well, one, it was pouring down rain the whole time, so, and two, I was asleep because she drove, so you would have been bored out of your mind. We are on the 2.5 list already. We're number 13 and 14, so I don't know exactly how long we're gonna have to wait. I'm going to try and bounce back from a less than awesome performance in Ebro and try to book a solid win, get some good cards, and let's see how it goes.
So responsible about where I had been. I have lost a few, maybe 2 or 3. I was full of.
Let's come in for a raise here. It is rain delays favor hand after all.
Memories forgiven, memories forgot, but I cannot forget the games we played when grown-ups talked. I remember you, do you remember me? I was G.I. Joe, and you were Barbie. I remember you as you were walking that away, holding mom's hand tightly so you couldn't get away. I remember you.
Pretty good flop. Let's try to build the pot.
Joe, and you were Barbie. I remember you as you were walking that away, holding mom's hand tightly so you couldn't get away. I remember you.
You can't win them all if you do not win the first one.
I was G.I. Joe, and you were Barbie. I was G.I. Joe, and you were Barbie. You say you wanna be a star, but the city is so dense and loaded.
Checking seems to be the optimal play here.
And it makes you feel so distant with such a disguise. Why don't you leave it all behind and come back home? I'll make some sweets and tea, just like it used to be. You say you had to take the chance, even though you got arrested and wasted.
There's no money in the pot. I have 2 pair in the worst position. I know it doesn't look like much money-wise, but it's still half the pot.
One, baby, why don't you leave it all behind and come back home?
I love that turn card. Only 1 straight gets there. It'd be pretty unlucky if that's what he had, so let's bet some money. Pretty good river card, but he can't have a huge jack the way the action went down. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and check here, see if he won't bite on the bluff. Kind of surprising that he would bet a 9 there. He had showdown value. Must have been trying to squeeze out a bit of value from a 6. I don't really know what his thinking was, but we're undefeated thus far.
But the city is so dense and loaded. Lately I've been thinking about the end of time, and whether I could write a song so true that you'd be mine.
Let's go set mining.
Worth a try. My mind's been drifting towards the end of days, but I can reel it back if you decide you want
That was easy enough.
to stay, stay, stay. No time to waste. I don't want this to end before it ever begins. I've been reading.
So he probably has one of two things here. A busted flush draw, which he's going to fold to a bet, or a jack, where he will certainly call a bet. I'm not going to make any money off a busted flush draw, so let's go ahead and fire out a ton. See if we can't get called by those Jack X hands.
Articles that peddle fear of over.
Would he have bluffed if I checked? Ace high has a little bit of showdown value. I don't know. But I thought it was a good plan anyway.
Though the singularity can make me scream, I bet your clarity could turn my nightmares into dreams, 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 and then the scenes. Oh, I don't want this to end before it ever begins. When a life of optimism seems in vain, you are the only one I know who keeps me feeling sane, sane, sane. Oh, what a change. If our future holds a mass catastrophe, I think I'll want someone who's right there holding hands with me. I don't want this to end before it ever begins. I don't want this to end before it ever begins. I don't want this to end before it ever begins.
The flop doesn't hit my actual hand, but since I raised out of the small blind, my range is actually going to be pretty strong. I'm going to have big pairs and ace-king, ace-queen type hands, so I like betting.
Because it's not for all the reasons that I'm standing here with you. And I walk 10,000 miles just to see if you're not walking my direction unaware. For I wanted to know all about you since this race started. For I just want to show all my love in disguise whenever we get downhearted. Cause I'm sick of it all blowing up in my face. If I can't have it all, then I won't say grace. Cause you don't understand that a man ain't a man without something. And I want you to take a look at me, and I want you. I love you, you'll find out, but I just couldn't tell you. We'll walk on air forever, and miss the holes we fall through. We'll call on God to guide us, and pray to His Son Jesus. With their thoughts and their blessings, yeah, we'll live forever. We'll live forever.
Dude donks into me for $20. I'm going to talk about this a lot more on a different hand later, but donk bets are stupid and almost never good hands.
And I want you to take a look at me, and I want you. I love you, you'll find out, but I just couldn't tell you. We'll walk on air forever, and miss the holes we fall through. We'll call on God to guide us, and pray to His Son Jesus. With their thoughts and their blessings, yeah, we'll live forever. We'll live forever. We'll live forever. forever.
Got some nonsensical stuff going on here. Seems like the board just keeps getting better and better for me, but this clown won't stop betting.
Up and said, girl, I had the strangest dream when you were gone and I was all by myself. Tonight I went back to sleep.
I told you donk bets are stupid, never strong holdings. He only had the absolute stone cold nuts. Okay, so this is the hand everybody's gonna want to talk about. So let's taco about it. So there is a $10 straddle under the gun. The new under the gun player limps in. The guy who would have been under the gun +1 had there not been a straddle. A middle position player calls the $10. I'm on the button where I like to be. I look down at a queen of spades and a 10 of spades, and this seems like just a dandy hand to pump it up. I make it $50 to go, trying to take down the pot pre-flop, but if not, I'll have position going forward. Everybody folds except for one person, the middle-aged Asian man, middle position, limper. He puts in $50 and we are off to a flop. Have no information about this fella, so his range is going to be like other people's ranges similarly are in positions like this. I think he's going to have a lot of ace-x suited hands, some smaller suited connectors, pocket pair heavy, and we could probably throw in some Broadway cards, although I have, you know, 2/5 of them. The flop comes king, jack, 7, with only one spade. This player decides to donk into me for $80, and as I have explained earlier, donk betting is not usually a super strong hand. It's just natural to check to the pre-flop raiser, allow me to bet, and then for you to either check call or check raise depending on the strength of your hand. That's just the natural way that these hands usually go. So when a person donks into you, it's not usually a super strong hand. But in this particular situation, his donk bet probably did exactly what he wanted it to do. Confused me a little bit. Instead of pouncing like the puma, I decided just to call his $80 flop bet. So the turn is a jack. Putting a second jack on the board. And he donks into me for $110 again. Think about the way that I would probably play my premiums here. Say I had raised up with pocket kings, pocket jacks, pocket sevens, or any jack, ace jack. Because those are the hands that if I raised now, I would be representing, right? If I had those hands pre-flop, when I arrive at the turn in the way that this hand played out, wouldn't I almost always call? I think I probably would. Which is why I ended up making the call here instead of putting in the raise. I personally think that I'm going to have stronger hands here a lot more often than him. He limped and then called the $50 raise. He's gonna have a jack sometimes. I don't know how often he's gonna have a jack. It shouldn't be very much, because you wouldn't think that he would just donk into me on the flop with second pair. But some of these players are squirrely, so you never know. There's some chance that he had a jack. There's some chance that he has a king. There's some chance that he has queen 10, like me. There's a chance that he's got a 7. Not a great one. But there's chances that he has all of these hands. There's a chance he's got king jack, you know, and I'm drawing stone dead, so we just don't know. I think a call is fine. I think I probably prefer a raise here, but I elect to just call. And I'm really trying to drive home in his mind some uncertainty that I might have one of those premium hands as we head into the river. Now the river is another 7. And he, for the third time, has donked into me. So, this time for $145. The pot keeps getting bigger, but his bets are not getting bigger in the same proportions. 80, 110, 145. This progression is very small. I can't win this pot right now without raising, right? And he's only showing marginal strength. Yeah, he has bet into me on the flop, turn, and river 3 times. But what hand, look, let's assume this guy's not a clown, okay? Because we don't know. Let's just assume he's not a clown. What hand would bet into somebody on 3 streets, trying to get 3 streets of value? Kings, sure. Pocket jacks, sure. Well, really, any jack. Now. You know, once we got to the turn, any jack. But would a jack bet on the flop? I don't think so. And quad 7s. Pocket 7s. And king jack. And I guess jack 7. Surely jack 7's not in here. Now, who of the 2 players is most likely to have those hands? Me. The pre-flop raiser, right? I'm much more likely to have pocket kings, pocket jacks, ace jack, and all those other hands than the guy who called the $10 straddle. So when he bets $145 here, I'm not giving him credit for much. But I only have queen high. So I think a raise is in order, and I pump it up to $450. And our gentleman goes into the tank. And I really think that this is exactly the way that I would have played a jack. Like, let's say I had ace jack. I'm just going to call this flop lead, because I was already confused by it. I called it with queen high. I'm surely going to call it a pair. It tripped jacks on the turn. I'm going to call that bet. River card, I'm full. I'm going to raise them, right? That's exactly how I'd play ace jack. It's exactly how I'd play pocket kings, how I'd play pocket jacks, pocket sevens. So I ran this hand by my poker group, the Henson Mob. And they asked me, was the bet intended to fold out a king? And the answer is not really, but I think he would have to fold the king. And the reason it's not really intended to fold out a king is because he just shouldn't have one. You know, it's really hard to bet 3 streets on this board with a king. You would think at some point you would have slowed down when I keep calling you. Because what am I calling you with? Unless you're just a mind reader and you just know I have queen 10. But the answer is also sort of yes, because I need him to fold every hand since I have queen high. Now, he went into the tank for, I don't know, had to be 3-4 minutes before finally electing to, that's the worst drum roll I've ever heard. Before he what? Yeah, this wouldn't make the vlog if he didn't make the call, right? Yes, he made the call. What do you think he had? You know what I should have done is I should leave this open-ended and make you guys guess what he had for the next vlog. I'm not going to do that to you because I know you guys want to know. He had ace deuce offsuit. That's what he had. Ace deuce. Led into me with ace deuce 3 times and called a river raise. I can usually take adversity at the table well. Doesn't usually tilt me. I had to take a break after this hand. I was not anticipating the ace deuce. And before you say something like, well, a large portion of your range is going to be the queen 10, that may all well be true. But when I flipped over my hand, remember, he thought for 3 minutes. When I flipped over my hand, his first words out of his mouth were, what's that? Queen 10 didn't even register with him. He had no idea what I had. So, it's possible that this is not the person to try to run a bluff on. Possible. No. Let me know what y'all think about that hand in the comments, and let's move on with the vlog.
You'll be sleeping alone unless you get out of this zone. Trust me, I won't be leaving your side. And then I looked at the clock. Oh baby, baby, it's only 12 o'clock. I've got the entire night to complain. You said you liked the way I smile, but you're just wasting all our time. I don't know what I'd do alone. Just listen to my whining tone. She said, tonight I've used it too many times, so I clean this dusty old word off. I have used it twice. I've made it yours and I've made it mine. Well, so I walk barefoot at night, looking for slippers full of our feet. She said, good night, good night, good night, good night.
This isn't even going to be a huge pot, but it might be the most ridiculous pot I played. gonna be hard to make a straight. You gotta win some pots without actually getting there.
Show me. One time.
How's that look?
I saved them money because the turn's a 6. Right? The turn's a 6, right? You just fold 2 aces?
Really?
What he fold?
2 aces?
No way. Only $70 more he fold 2 aces.
No way.
And then no.
Dude saw me raise the river with queen high. And he's gonna, on 8-5 deuce, fold ace-ace.
Stupid and you're the one who can catch me looking every time. You're the one I say la 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 la. You're the one who's not missing in my life. Yeah, you're not the one. Yeah, you're not the one.
Time to go home. I left Florida. Small loser. Leaving today Cherokee as a small winner. I think I cashed out of that game for 191. Not total, I cashed out 191 profit, so. Headed home, we had fun. Family vacation over. All right, we're jumping in the car, headed home. If you guys like what you see in these videos, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell. Hit everything that you can hit except for the one that's a thumbs down. Don't do that. Then leave me a comment or send me stuff on Instagram or Twitter or all that good stuff. I'll probably respond. And I will see you guys next week. Out.